Welcome. Oh, I got some paint on me. To the Slowest Fast RC podcast episode 42. And this episode is about.
I thought you were going to forget. You just said it.
Didn't forget. This episode is about some local regional racing, actually. We tactically split up into two groups and went and explored some new tracks. Mike and the Pittsburgh gang went out to Rock Creek as myself, Taylor, Lauren, and a few others went out to explore Dudley Hill. And we will get into more of it right after the disclaimer, which is right here.
Disclaimer. You're about to listen/watch a podcast hosted by a group of friends who tend to use vulgar language and profanity, and also enjoy pounding adult beverages. Viewer discretion is advised. Lastly, we may be making some bold statements. All views and statements made in this podcast do not reflect the views of any sponsors, guests, followers, or any supporters of this podcast. So be cool and don't get offended. Thank you for watching, and we hope you enjoy.
RC racing is boring to watch.
So I wanted to start out asking a whole bunch of questions that are non-RC related. Blondes or brunettes?
Take the win! Aiden in the 2 spot! A last turn!
Oh, that's Davey. Oh, goodbye.
Sure.
And we're back.
Back.
Mike, I'd like you to start.
Oh boy.
Why?
Because I delegated you as the supreme leader.
I don't know about all that. I think that's more like a Gary V thing.
Take me to your leader.
Well, Gary V's not here.
He was a team manager, so.
Keyword was.
Yeah. Anywho, so you had mentioned we went to Rock Creek. Myself, Jim, Chris, Hot Rod, Steve, Ed, the whole crew went up. Yeah, Andy.
Now, where is Rock Creek?
I think it's Rock Creek, Ohio. It's near Ashtabula.
Okay.
We took the exact same route to Arcs, then we did to Rock Creek, and you go up 11, get off 11, and the track's right there.
Okay.
Both times. Easy drive. It is what it is, but you're in the middle of nowhere, absolute nowhere. But no. So, this is our first time there. It is for all of us going up there, except for Gavin. Gavin's been there a few times. The place has a really nice footprint. It's there's a lot of land up there. It's huge. There's a lot of space. The track I wouldn't say is huge by any means. It's big, but it's not huge. It's a decent size. It's definitely 8-scale oriented for sure. Driver stands amazing. It's great. They have good dirt up there. Low rock count. Very little rocks in it. Hard pack.
Contrary to the name.
Yeah. But yeah, there's a building that's near it where they have a full kitchen, so they were cooking all day long. Yeah.
Always nice when something is rather remote.
Yeah, there's a full kitchen, there's a full bathroom setup inside the building. They have a pretty stocked hobby shop.
They have their own hobby shop.
Correct.
Oh,
yes,
nice.
They do. I didn't give it a super deep dive look as far as what they had in stock, but if you run Mayako, it looks like they have pretty much every Mayako part on the wall.
Now, is this like a track pit side trailer type deal, or is this a 9 to 5 brick and mortar hobby shop?
I don't want to call it either of those.
Okay.
The building looks like the the building almost looks like a storage garage,
Okay.
but it's completely cleaned out. Like
Yeah.
there's
Yeah. Like it's nice.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. When you walk in, the hobby shop counters to your left, to your right is like a couch set up with a TV where they seem like they're going there to hang out. There's people pitting inside of there.
Okay.
Um, it's basically like the floor footprint of like, I don't know, a 15 to 20 car garage
Gotcha.
that has a kitchen and a bathroom and stuff attached to it. Um, yeah, no, it's not a retail space, put it that way. But they kind of made a little section with retail space though. I don't know what else could I say about it. Let's say I don't know, like it was good. Like the overall first impressions was good. We talked to Tony up there. He came around and thanked us for coming up and thank you guys for doing what you do up there. We had fun. It was an incredibly long day, and I don't regret leaving early. And yes, we
Oh,
left
so
early.
spoiler alert that I didn't know about.
Yeah,
That will affect
Yeah,
your
so
main
we-
results.
yeah. To where you will not see any of our names on the mains. You'll see us in the qualifying and the points and all that, but we were not in the mains.
Do we want to get right there now? So why did
Yeah,
you
I mean,
leave
we-
early?
Yeah, we can. Like it. So I mean, we talked to Tony and Gavin talked to Tony. Like understanding. Like we didn't want to disrupt the local crowd's plan, right? Like because everyone up there is pretty much a local except for like us 15 or 10 to 15 of us. So they wanted to run 3 quals with 120 some entries. Then let them run 3 quals. I don't care. You guys do you. Run 3 quals. Have fun.
Was that their
Um,
standard plan already ahead of time? Or
Yeah, during the drivers meeting they did say 3 quals. And then the constructive criticism on that is don't run 3 quals on a 1-day race when you have 127 entries. Maybe think about doing, once you hit 100 entries, you go down to what?
2
2
sixes.
6-minute quals?
Yeah.
Yeah, 2
Well,
sixes and
do,
at 150,
do what
2
Alex would
fives.
do, and I would say run a couple timetables with a few versions so we get an
Yeah.
idea what's going to go on. And Alex is probably going to be the super nice race director that he is and probably mention it like, hey, who here wants to party and have 3 quals, get out at this time? Or, hey, who wants to go home early at this time and kind of do like leave it up to a vote,
Yeah, so timetable wise,
right?
I don't know if
Yeah.
I don't know if they ran one, but after you run the first round, you can pretty much make your own timetable ahead. We got done at qualifying right around 8 o'clock. The first
PM
round took
or
about
AM?
3.5 p.m. We started at like 11:15 and we ended at 8 for qualifying.
Whoa.
Yeah, so that's when we all packed up and left. Was after the third round of qualifying. But like no ill will or anything towards the track. Like it's
No,
not
yeah,
awkward.
you
None of
guys.
us are
What?
mad.
That's like
Yeah.
a 2.5-hour trip for you, or 3 hours. Or
Yeah,
something.
yeah. It just we're all 2.5 hours away, so
Yeah.
like it is what it is.
Yeah.
So yeah, like don't anybody take this in a negative manner. I'm not talking bad about Rock Creek. Like it's actually a great place. Go race there. And they know they're new. They know they're working things out. It's growing pains. It's going to happen. And we're Gavin's already discussing ideas with them to help make the program go faster and whatever, right? But like round 1 took 3.5 hours. Round 2 was a little over 2 hours, and then a little over 2 hours for round 3.
That's pretty good.
Maybe 2.5. Yeah, I mean it was 18 heats. So
Okay.
well, 18 heats round 1 and 2, and then round 3 they condensed some of the classes and added people into heats, so they made it 14 heats to make it go a little faster.
5-minute quals, I assume.
Yeah, still 5-minute quals. And shockingly, the mains they didn't get done till midnight running mains.
That's crazy.
We were all surprised about that because like we were all home, we were all settled in, and we look and like holy shit, they're still running the expert main. or whatever. But yeah, it is what it is. But and here in the future too, their night program is going to get significantly better because they're going to bury poles and run proper lighting. Right now they just
Yeah.
have like the
Couple
low
light
generator
plants,
lights,
yeah.
but yeah. To where like feedback that I heard about that was there's a couple dark spots that made it really hard to see your car.
Yeah.
But and the track, dude, it took me a little while to get used to like a tight technical track again. It was different. Got the hang of it eventually, but my personal feedback about the current layout is that it's way too busy. There's way too much going on.
Hmm.
It was yeah. It the track felt very tight. Even for how big it is, it felt very, very tight. Um, just because it's almost like there was the mindset of because there is land here, there needs to be an obstacle here. You know what I mean? To where sometimes you don't need to do that, or simplify the obstacles a little bit. Um, I'm not saying the track was hard, but it was challenging and it was very technical. So you had to be very, very precise of what you were doing. Um, but also here in the near future, Tony said he was talking to Bornhorst, and they're having him come up to build the next layout, which is kind of cool.
Ooh.
That's sweet.
So, yeah.
Oh, Jornhorst coming out of retirement.
We'll see. Get a damn controller in his hands.
Mm-hmm.
But so yeah, I'm excited to see what he ends up coming up with. Yeah, it I wasn't paying attention to this all day. I know it was happening, but I didn't really look at the root cause. But this is just another constructive criticism thing, but there was 10 marshal spots and 7 people per heat. So there was after every single race there was always
Volunteers.
volunteer marshals needed.
Yeah. So there's 60 seconds and
So
calling for volunteers or more.
or more. Yeah, but still like there essentially needs to be if you have 6 people in your heats, you can only have 6 marshal spots.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, and
So
that's
either
and that real quick, that's
mm-hmm.
I find that fact, very blatant. And the frustrating thing is like the rule of thumb for the past 10 years you've seen locally is 3 to make a class, right? So, yeah, 3 to make a class, sure. But now when we have 2 or 3 heats or 2 or 3 classes, just 3 cars in it, now I have to pull 5 volunteer marshals 4 different times or whatever. So that could add 20 minutes to each round right there.
Oh, easily. To where like I mean even well, at least this past weekend, 10 scale was the smallest class, and there were still 5 people,
Mm-hmm.
which is fine. Like, that's great.
Yeah.
5 people showed up in 10 scale.
Oh, yeah.
Now, if it's just like one class that's light, that's totally manageable.
Yeah, that's manageable.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, because every round you need 3 or 4 people for one race, not every single heat.
And then also the marshal problem after the fact of I hate 3 people and it sets you up for needing marshals.
Yeah. So I mean that's all gonna get brought up and talked about and discussed constructive criticism wise. But I mean it may sound like I'm talking negative again. I am not. Like we will be going back there.
Yeah, I want to be on the next
No, it's not
train
negative.
out there.
Yeah, like we are going back. Like there's nothing that would keep us from racing there. It's a great place to go. Everyone up there is fantastic. There was one instance that I know of, or maybe one person that was causing some issues when racing, the race incident wise. But
what did you do, Mike?
I didn't do shit. Okay,
it was definitely Andy.
No, it wasn't Andy. Surprisingly, Andy's a little troublemaker.
Yes, you got to watch out for him.
Yeah, but no, like there was just one guy that I heard a couple words about. I mean, it is what it is. It's gonna
Excuse me.
happen. Every track gets it.
Yeah.
But overall, it was clean racing. Nobody was screaming on the driver's stand. Like none of that stuff. Like
Boring.
it was a good time. We had fun.
No, that's good
Like
though.
it's a yeah. And thanks to Gary for dragging us up there. Um. Also, weirdest thing, right? J Concepts tires are the only ones up there, or the only tire brand that doesn't really work that well there.
So what does work? I'm sorry, I kind of was at like a loss
Yeah.
of words.
So ProMotion is the best. The ProMotion clay compound is the best tire there. And then TZO is a close second. And then everything else is decent, and then J Concepts is the worst.
What?
So if you run J Concepts, at the current moment, you're automatically at a disadvantage.
What tire was like the preferred tire?
So we were a little over the place, right? So we were testing stuff and trying stuff. I ran webs twice. Like I ran double bars twice, and like they were good. Like they worked.
Yeah.
Like when you
But
say they
it's-
were good, do you have the data of how fast we're saying comparatively?
So here we go. So my 3 qualifiers, they were 6 seconds apart, all 3 of them. So I ran double bars the first one, double bars again, and then I ran relapses in the third one. The fastest one, or my fastest qualifier, was on the relapses. That was, but also taking consideration, it's also my 5th time on the track versus my 3rd time on the track.
Sure.
Yeah.
So learning the layout. But I was on both of those treads, green and blue. My speed was almost the same. My hot lap was on double bars. By about 0.8 of a second. So that's my data. Now, if you can't keep your car in a 2-foot space, do not run bars.
Well, yeah.
I feel
The
like that's
line was-
pretty much always. Oh, there goes a
Yeah,
shot.
like we say that, but we had that anomaly last time at LCRC where the line was 8 feet wide.
And double bars
You know
just
what I
worked
mean?
fucking all the time.
Yeah. So, but in this instance up there, like, yeah, you had to hit your mark.
What promotion tire were people preferring?
Havocs.
Okay.
What's a havoc?
That's the Lux.
Yeah. So the Havoc, and I want to say some people were running the Phantom.
And
like
that's
relapse basically. But yeah, Oro 1 and Oro 2.
And what one's the Phantom?
That's Phantom's a relapse.
Okay.
Yeah. So that was the go-to promotion tire. Gary was on his like Supernova, I think is what it was.
That's a Matrix.
It's Matrix tire, which is like the J Concept Stalker, just a way smaller version of it.
Okay.
But it's that like thick lug sort of tire. And I mean he was on, I think, Ultra Softs and then Super Softs. He may have went harder than that, but
what temps were you dealing with?
not very high.
Like 70.
Like air temp was okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, like mid 70s.
Sun was
Like
glistening
air
the
temp
track.
was okay. Yeah, but it wasn't baking it,
Yeah.
you know.
I think we were pretty
Um,
similar there between where we both went.
Yeah, like we ran blues, but it didn't really. My tires didn't get hurt.
Yeah.
So, like the hurt that they had was from LCRC before.
Sure.
So, yeah, it wasn't chewing tires up. Even though like they weren't making a ton of grip, they weren't chewing up with wheel spin or anything. But yeah, like it's just, I don't know. The it started getting character. It didn't stay smooth. For the record, I hate I hate Rocket Round after experiencing it again after not running Rocket Round for a very long time.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, I will say this and take it however you want. If you run 3
Yeah.
quals and you do rocket rounds, your third qual was absolutely pointless to run.
And my third qual was my best run of the weekend or of the day. So, and it kills me because if we would have ran qual points, I probably would have qualified into the A main.
Yeah.
You know,
Explain why
Um,
the last one isn't a good one to run.
the track is
rocket rounds, Alex?
drastically different.
Well, the track changes so much. So, like, it's one thing when you do 2 rounds and, say you do qualifying round 1 and 2 within a 5-hour time change. But when you're talking 3 rounds, especially at 100 some entries, Q1 happens at 10:30 in the morning when track is still green with moisture. And then Q3 is at 7 p.m. when the sun's down, it's grooved up, and the moisture's just starting to pick back up. Or in the event of maybe the track got so blown out each time, now you have a bunch of craters and potholes, depending on the surface. And I just hate rocket rounds, period.
I wasn't even thinking about the track conditions changing as the factor.
Yeah,
it totally makes sense after you say it.
That's why. So to me, doing rocket rounds with 3 quals is just a waste of time.
Like Q2 was the fastest round, Q3 was the slowest round. Between my Q1 to Q3, I was 6 seconds faster in Q3 than I was Q1, and 3 seconds faster than Q2. I just had a cleaner race compared to Q2. But I before going into Q3, I was like 14th overall or 11th overall or something. I think 14th, but I got a 5th for the round in Q3. So if you're running qual points, that drastically bumps me up the list.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm
The
kinda
locals have a
sad.
good amount of time on that layout before you got a chance to hit it.
I don't think they only had like
on-
1 or
on
2 races, I
80% of
think.
it. On 80% of the track is the same. They changed like 2.5 lanes.
But they still only have like 1 or 2 races, I think, this season so far, right?
They have like club
Yeah,
races though
probably.
and stuff where people are
Yeah,
coming
but
over to
the
practice.
weather made
Yeah.
them cancel.
And
Yeah.
I mean, I'm
So-
sure some people are going up there to get practice time as well, but
But yeah, I can't speak for that. But
I wouldn't say you were at too much of a disadvantage with your exposure to the track. You know what I mean?
I don't think. I mean, I don't think so either. Like after my first pack, like I was getting the laps down. Like
yeah.
I was making dumb mistakes, but like the track was. I picked it up pretty quick.
I think we
Um,
are all at a skill set where we can't use that as an excuse when we go somewhere new.
No, the hardest thing for me, like it finally clicked. Like after watching Gavin and Q1 or Q2 or whatever, I'm just overdriving the shit out of the car. So like going into my Q3, I was like, I'm gonna drive like Gavin. At least try to.
Yeah.
And literally didn't really go above quarter throttle.
And it was fine.
I went faster. Yeah, and I went faster. So it just overdriving the track. It was so tight and technical that you if you missed a breaking point, you're done. You
Mhm.
know. I definitely could have gained time if I did change my car, but I didn't feel like doing anything. I wanted to chill and hang out.
Yeah.
I didn't want to chase up all day. I knew exactly what I wanted to do and what I needed to do. I just didn't like doing it. But
Taylor, don't stop doing that. Taylor, get back to that, please. I was almost done.
I was almost done.
Oh, you dirty bird.
You polishing your rod over there.
Yes, Taylor. Yes, Taylor.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Polish that rod for me.
Well, good thing we have a disclaimer.
Is anyone else turned on right now?
Yeah, this is now 18 plus podcast.
It always is.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of anything else that I'd want to talk about. I mean,
What type of clay was it? Like how was like the clay to
I
dirt
have
soil?
I have no idea.
Did it groove up?
I'm not a barely. There was a line, but there was definitely no. There may have been a couple little dark spots, but nothing
Was
to
it
write home about.
Loomy any? Like, did it
Oh
trend?
yeah.
It trended on the Loomy level. Did the line stay
If
clean
you
though?
the line stayed clean with a light dust, but if you stepped out of that light patch of dirt, you were zero traction.
Taylor's putting his shoulder into
Absolutely.
it.
Yeah, like if you're in the fluff and you gave it like any gas at all, you would just do a donut.
Gotcha.
Especially when you're running double bars.
Gotcha.
Like they got sketchy at one point to where like you would land the back double, and my car would just land in the in between area, and just the rear end would instantly just kick out. I wouldn't even give it throttle; it would just get loose. It just try to spin out. Like, okay, well I'm taking double bars off now. Yeah.
Anything else for Rock
Yep.
Creek, Mike?
Looking forward to going back, especially with
All of us.
changes happening.
Oh, yeah, nope. We don't matter.
Nope, you don't matter. I know we haven't talked about it yet, but Dudley, next
Wait,
time definitely
before
gonna be-
Dudley.
I know. I'm just saying.
Oh.
I'm just saying.
Okay.
On the
all right.
Pittsburgh crew side, the next trip is a Dudley trip.
Is it the
we did-
one
we
that they
did-
just
we did
posted?
Rock Creek.
So the one they
I don't
just
know.
posted, I can't make. I have a family function that day.
Okay.
But y'all should go.
But so it'd be like we went up to Rock Creek to check it out. We're gonna go to Dudley next to check it out. So, and the next time we go to Rock Creek, Chris and I already talked. It'd be like when you guys can go.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
Well, so nothing else for Rock Creek?
I got a question. Are there any like restaurants and stuff nearby?
no,
All right.
Didn't you hear him say
not
middle
that
of
we know
nowhere?
of.
I did, but I mean like 20 minutes
there might
away
be.
or something like that. Is there something like really cool to meet up?
I mean,
and
they
meet
might
up?
be 20 or 30 minutes away, but
Yeah.
in what direction, I have no idea. You're in the middle of freaking nowhere. So, yep,
Can you hear my drill?
no.
Okay. All right.
I would like to do a.
Those arm movements, Taylor. What are you doing under your desk? You should probably just leave it on camera.
Anyways, I think Taylor needs a commercial break. You know what I mean? So, we're gonna run a commercial break because I gotta use it. It's after Taylor just. But we'll get back shortly with Dudley Hill. So we're gonna hear from our friend Dennis Brew over at Nitro Caddy. Oh, I hit the wrong button. Hit the wrong Nitro Caddy. The overlay instead of the. Here we go, Nitro Caddy. Dennis Brew.
Yeah,
Check
yeah.
him out.
It's a starter box adapter plate. I got tired of the pins moving on me with the boxes. And what this plate does is it affixes the four corners of your chassis to the starter box.
We're back.
And we're back.
And we're back. All right. So, Dudley Hill.
Yes.
I'm just gonna start going, Taylor, and then just interrupt me as you usually do.
All right. So we went to Dudley Hill.
As Mike experienced, also, pretty much middle of nowhere, but it's along another river valley of Pennsylvania, which I just love the aesthetic of that driving there.
Before even predating that, I'm going to say most of us all had a plan to go the weekend prior, but Mother Nature kind of shat on those plans for all
Yeah.
of the entire Northeast region
Yeah.
because there were a bunch of us. I was looking for tracks as
It
far
was
south as
beyond the
Virginia.
Northeast region. Yeah, like it was like the
Yeah.
whole East Coast.
Yeah. So, and it's not at fault of any track
I'm
or
just
anything
happy
like
it
that.
happened to everyone. You
Yeah.
know, if I can't race, no one can.
I know. That was kind of thinking the same thing. Um, and before we even got to Dudley Hill, I've had a pretty busy week. I went down to hang out with Kevin and Cody at LCRC the night before, and then we hang out late, stuff like that. And then I get to bed. Well, long story too, I got locked out of the place I was staying. No thanks to anyone else. I'm just joking, but kind of my own fault.
You stay in the camper?
Yeah.
Yeah, he forgot it
So-
You
existed.
locked yourself.
No.
So hold
Okay.
on. I get there, and as soon as I get there, like I'm in my work clothes, my dress work clothes. and
With your
stuff like
flat
that.
bill?
My flat. Oh, my hat.
Yeah.
Oh, I curved the hat.
Oh.
Is that like I bend the bill?
I thought it was flat when you did the pit challenge.
No, it should
I
be
don't
curved.
remember.
I never really
Whatever,
wear a
doesn't
flat-
matter.
a flat one. But anyways, but yeah, I mean that's just kind of how I dress. And Kevin's like, "Hey, go make sure you can get in where you're staying." Yada yada. So I go, just set my bag and stuff in the doorway because I had my shoes on. I'm not gonna walk through their place and stuff like that. With my shoes on and all that, and then fast forward several hours of hanging out and all that. Everyone goes home. They leave me with a whole bunch of tires and stuff to bring to Travis and Mike at Dudley Hill for the following day, easy ups, things like that. So I load that all in my truck. They all go home, and then I kind of make my way up to where I was staying. Turns out the door's locked on the inside, and I'm like, "Oh crap! It's pretty late now." I just happened to send Krista a message. I'm like, "Can you let me in?" But she was sleeping. Didn't get it for a while, so I just stayed in the woodshed. And then I'm like an hour into sleeping, and then I've been covering for like 3 other divisions here in the New York State, pretty much covering the entire New York State power grid. And one of them had an issue with storm, and they called me at 1 in the morning, and so I had to get up and go to work for a while, and then get back up so I got like another hour and a half of sleep, got up at 4, stopped, got coffee, and then headed out to Dudley.
I slept like a baby Friday night in my own bed, just snug as a bug in a rug. Got a full 5 hours.
That would be wonderful.
It was so nice, dude. So nice. Originally I was gonna pick up Lauren because, like, when I briefly looked at navigation, like I basically passed Lauren's house on the way up, and then he decided to drive himself, whatever. But he was like, "Hey, let's convoy up," and I'm like, "Yeah, that'll be kind of fun." So I met him at his house, and we left promptly. And long story short, with this little story, it's a half an hour to Lauren's house. It's an hour and a half from Lauren's house to Dudley Hill. I went back on my own straight to my house, and I did it in just under an hour and a half. So, Lauren, I will not be convoying anymore. Gladly pick you up. No convoys. Anyways, get to Dudley Hill. We all got there about the same time, like quarter till 7, 6:30.
Yeah, well, you told me what time you were going to get there, so I'm like, I'm going to get there same time as you.
Yeah. Like right as we were like opening up the cars, you pulled in, which was great. Facility, legit. Like
Driving there, I was going to say, you're kind of in the middle of nowhere, like you alluded to. There's so I'm taking probably not the same route you went, I'm assuming, but who knows?
no, you came from the north and we came from the south.
Well,
west.
I kind of came from the south because I came from LCRC.
Oh, true. Yeah, you're right. But you came from east rather than west.
Oh, yeah, true. So Shane's very familiar with that area, and he rode with me after when we left. And as I'm driving there, though, we're cutting up through the mountains, and there's these like really windy roads back and forth, and I'm like reminiscent of my sport bike
Yeah.
riding days, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this would be such a good road.
Yeah.
And then as I'm saying that, we're going up to a point, and then it stops, and then it cuts back to a 120, like really hard, and then you go back down the hill, and it's back and forth just carving. I'm sorry, my camera keeps getting out of focus. But Shane on the way, because he rode with me, we got dinner after, and he was telling me how he used to ride all these on sport bike and all that, and then he was showing me all the spots and stuff, and we took the same way back. It was a good time, reminiscent of back in my shenanigan days.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was getting bored following Pookie because Pookie driving a Civic, and I'm just like on my paddles, ready to have fun. But
Yeah,
it was fine though.
I'm driving my big truck, and like on the gas, off the gas, on the gas, off the
Yeah.
gas, just hear blow off valve, turbo sound, stuff like that. It's having a good time.
But so back to the facility. Pictures don't do it justice of how much of a slope this whole track is on. Like, I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say the percentage, but like, you know how WO's on a hill, Mike?
Yeah.
I'd at least add like 5 degrees probably to that.
Oh my gosh, yeah,
Okay.
that's putting it lightly.
Yeah.
Like it so I'll say this. As you're marshaling, going from one lane to the next one, you are taking small little steps, like the width of your foot, because you're worried about slipping and falling. It's that steep.
From
And some of the
Wow.
from the driver's stand to the bottom of the track, it's at least a 10-foot elevation difference.
Wow.
And they use in the layout, they use that like elevation to their favor in some turns and stuff. Like, I mean, I've never been to Tilt Yard, but I wouldn't compare it to Tilt Yard in that aspect. But they definitely like it's sweet.
Was there any blind spots because of this?
Nope, not I.
No.
I had no blind
No.
spots. This was honestly out of all the layouts and tracks I've been to over the past however long I can think of, this was the most visible one.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, because for the people that don't know, you're on the hill and you're looking down.
Yeah, so you're shipping. Well, it's scaffolding, but your 8-foot tall driver stand is actually 16 feet tall in the bottom lane. You know what I mean?
Driver stand surrounded by cement. I want to add,
Yeah.
it was a very nice touch.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they put a lot of good effort into the driver stand, the cement around it.
What Taylor means
a
is
nice-
money.
Yeah, a nice pit lane. Now I'll say pit lane
Little
itself
thin.
and
Little thin.
the area between pit lane and the driver stand is a little tight.
Little tight.
Tight like Tyga.
Yeah.
For
tight like Tony.
for me at least.
It was tight for me too.
Okay.
Which it.
You are getting a little bit bigger.
Thank you. But it's kind of nice how tight it is, because you really have to check up when you go to pit your car. Like if you're the driver, and so there's not.
Yeah.
There's
That's a benefit.
Yeah, there's not like jumping into pit lane and all that. But the downside is like if you're pitting for someone and they flame out and you have to run and get them, like even when people get, it's like almost like trying to go to the bathroom in an airplane. Like people will get out of your way, but you're still gonna touch butts. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, could I say something about Rock Creek? Because you guys brought up something that I didn't even think of. So, like you mentioned, Dudley's pit lane. Rock Creek's actually a fantastic pit
Yeah,
lane. It has,
theirs
like,
looked
corrugated-
legit from what I see on Facebook.
Yeah, it was the corrugated metal to where
Yeah.
the dirt just falls through. It doesn't pile up. Very wide, 2.5 cars wide at least. Like trucks, like truggies wide. The driver's stand, I should have mentioned this. It can hold easily 20 people.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like or more. Like it's huge. It's a really long driver's stand.
So I think Mike at Dudley said they're about 10, roughly, for a
Yeah.
driver stand.
And the layout limited us to what I felt comfortable was 9.
Yeah.
So
And
it
then
worked out.
the pit lane itself is about just a little bit wider than a truggy.
Yeah, like
Yeah, I saw that.
Like an inch or two on each
pictures of
side.
him.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you mentioned like concrete pads, like they did that up there too. Like they
Yeah.
they actually
Nice.
did concrete pads for the bottom of the stairs and um things like that. To where like the driver's stand is two like Connex boxes stacked on top of each other,
Mm-hmm.
and the top one has just giant cutouts in it with like windowsills and like door frames and stuff put in it. Um, it's it's nice. They you can definitely tell they spent a lot of money building that.
Yeah. Yeah. No. Both. I mean, from what I've seen on Facebook, Rock Creek looks extremely legit too. Like any words I say, I'm not trying to put down Rock Creek or any track, but we have some pretty legit tracks in our area. What I'm getting at. But
Do.
so back to Dudley, the layout. As I said, they used like some of the contour of the ground in their favor, which was fun. The lanes, I don't want to quite call it tight,
No,
but I think
because you have plenty of room to make
you
passes for the most
did.
part.
I mean, there was 180s. Like it was tighter than LCRC, of course, but it wasn't wide either. Like I think we were talking 10-foot lanes
Yeah.
at the smallest. They didn't get much wider than that, but it was still like running truggy, still very comfortable. And then oh dude, the triple double, or for me the quad single. The bottom section they had a triple double, and with truck, it was harder for me to triple double than it was to quad single. Even though when I quad singled, I like 50% made it until the mains when I just settled down and just triple doubled. But when you actually soared the quad and you pointed that nose down and just whoop, it was sweet.
I loved how it flowed. It was timed very good. And even before the triple, you come up, you have, gosh, would you say maybe like 100-degree turn because you're kind of coming at the corner
Yeah.
of the track on the right side at an angle, and then you hit like a little skip jump that kind of goes into a
Into
like
a drain
little bump
ditch.
into
used
a,
as an
yeah, a drain
obstacle,
ditch,
yeah.
and then you kind of go up the hill just a little bit in the corner, and then you make that like 110-degree
Yeah.
turn, and then you like skip kind of down,
Yeah.
and then you pick up speed as you build up, and then you go to the triple, and then you time the triple right, and then you got a double. As long as
Yeah.
you didn't fly off the side of the track like I did.
I
at the
did it.
beginning a few times.
I ended up in the hedges.
Yeah,
The one
I
time,
think a lot of people have, so you're not the only
the
one.
one time I tried to quad it, I ended up off the track, but I could see I was off. So this is where the visibility issue was when you were off the track. So that there's an asterisk. But
Oh yeah.
I like saw my car and I'm like, oh, I can drive back on the track, and I gave it a little bit of throttle, and that 2250 in the truggy said yoink, and I went straight the opposite direction of the track into hedges.
Nice.
Twice in e-buggy, I was trying to get my line right on the bottom and see what I could get away with, and then I went off the side of the track, and I just drove it up the street, back around, and then back towards pit lane, and hopped back on the track up towards us.
In reference to this current topic, I constructive criticism. I think some strategically placed walling would go a long way, because again, with the elevation on, like, I know the right side of the track, if you went over the pipe, it was kind of like a drop off, to go get your car. So, and then it depends on how they do the layouts too. Like, I think they like where it's elevated, like in that turn before the triple double. Like, I think that's a good bit of clay right there they have to play with. So, there's some different things they could do there. But overall, layout was super fun. Surface wise, it was, I don't want to say weird, just something I'm not used to. Where it stayed loomy, it never really grooved up, but it didn't get chewed up either. Like, the track stayed very well intact, no craters, nothing crazy. But I mean, I played around with tires and ended up loving reflexes best. Some people were on relapses in truck and really liked them, but I don't think people strayed very far from reflex or a reflex style, like medium pin tire. A lot of people running Falcons. I hated them. I learned I hate Falcons. I learned I will never run something more aggressive than a reflex. Me. What do you think, Taylor?
What did you
Well,
What did you notice with the Falcons over the reflex?
they were just like undrivable. Like I tried them both ways, and one way it was like so much steering that I wasn't ready for when I didn't need all of that steering. And I had, which this is what shocked me, I didn't have the forward bite I thought I would. So,
Yeah.
weird. And trying them both ways, it just, I don't know. I just didn't like it. And I never
I
made,
tried Falcons. Oh, go ahead.
I never made one change to any of my cars. Just ride height and camber. Made sure they were on, and that's it.
Where were you at on ride height, by the way?
And what?
Buggy, because I only ran buggies.
26, 24, 26 rear, 24 front.
Yeah, about the same for me.
And then I was 39, 36 on truck. But Mike's look.
Do you
tells
always
me I
say the
was
rear
off.
first?
I say the bigger number first.
Okay. Do you do that too, Mike? Is that a techno thing?
I do front to rear.
Yeah, I've always said it front to rear. When you threw out the first number, I'm like, why is your front so high?
Well, with short course, I like to do higher in the front.
Okay.
So I confuse myself. I fucking
That would confuse me more.
This is a pointless conversation. Don't make fun of how I do numbers.
The whole reason this podcast is just to make fun of you, Alex. That's it.
No,
That's
the
it.
whole reason we go racing is so Yoder and Lauren can make fun of you.
I know. They call me Lightning Rod for a reason, because I was the blunt of all the jokes.
Yeah.
But going back to tires, touch on that. I tried a couple different tires. I was kind of seeing what other people are trying as well, with kind of limited time. I wanted to spend practice.
A day of
mostly.
practice there would go a long way.
Oh my gosh, Yoder and I talked about that for a while too. Testing and stuff like
Yeah.
that. Really dialing the setup for that track. I feel like you could.
Well, not even
Pick
for
up a
me,
lot.
not even dialing the setup, but I'd like to spend a day there practicing just to learn tires. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I consider tires part of the setup.
Well, yeah, but that's all I'd want to focus on is just changing tread and compound.
So the beginning of practice a little bit, just wanted to go out with the trusty setups that I just had that kind of just work for the most part, and then green reflex, of course, because that tire is going to work most everywhere. And then wanted to learn the track first before I started really messing with anything, because I know I'd be picking up time anyways as I learn it, compared to trying to change setup, and then what I learn with a setup change isn't valid because I'd be picking up time anyways learning the track. So after I kind of learned the track a little bit, I tried a few other things. On the beginning of the day, right before we got into Q1, I thought it was a little loomy to the point where I didn't know if a reflex was the fastest tire. It was kind of more dusty on the edges than in the groove, but you could see that there was something underneath the groove in the center. It wasn't grooved up yet, but you could tell the potential.
It was hard underneath.
Yeah, it was hard. There was rocks. No, I'm kidding. There weren't rocks, but so I wasn't sure if like a Falcon dirt bite, and I generally stray away from recons anymore. But the Falcon dirt bite or like a wider pin tire, kind of like your whole shots. And if you're a pro line like Davey, if you listen to this, Davey, Alex, we talked about triple Ds, or is it triple D or double D?
They were
on the
triple
buggy?
Ds I ran. And
Triple D.
I liked them, but I don't know if I liked them more than the reflex.
So I wasn't sure if that would be a faster tire with it just kind of loosening up a little bit. And then especially if you had like, you run before like a truck class of like a sportsman trucky class, you know how they like to spray the marbles all over the place. So I tried Falcons, and I tried them reverse direction in the rear and forward in the front. So I wanted the more drive in the rear with less drive and more side bite in the front. I believe that's how you would say that they run. Um, so, and it worked pretty good. And honestly, it almost worked too good to the point where it made my car too pushy. And then I really had trouble rotating the car. And I actually had too much front grip in a way where I was starting to turn into the pipe a little bit more. So it worked almost too well for me. And I didn't like it. So I was faster on a reflex because the reflex was just a slightly looser tire in a way where I could rotate the car and it just worked a little smoother with the rest of my setup as far as steering goes. Tried a couple different compounds throughout the day. Green, obviously, in the beginning, and then as the track kind of came in and temperature both increased as well, I felt like it was a blue compound type. And I was watching the tire wear for the greens and other people's tire wear that I knew were running greens as well. And I made the choice to go to a blue later on, especially for a long nitro main. And I thought that was the right call. So
I don't think the tire wear was there with, like, not in truck. I ran greens. I wish I was on blues instead. But I didn't have a wear issue.
yeah,
They
it was
got
wearing
hot.
down. I saw Little Yoder's buggy was on a green reflex, and when it came off, you could see how much it chewed through them. Not a ton,
Yeah.
not like an abrasive track, but
Right.
the wear
You
is
could
there.
see, yeah.
And so I was like, especially, well, I'm thinking 20-minute nitro main for me.
Yeah, for
compared
nitro,
to-
that's way different. Yeah.
yeah, compared to
A 10-minute e-car main.
yeah.
Yeah.
And this was the last qualifier, Q3, that I was watching. So I thought blue was the right call for the longer mains and
I agree.
all that. But yeah, let's also touch on qualifiers and all that because Mike brought that up for Rock Creek. So we had. Do you want to talk about entries and all that? And how many quals we ran?
Yeah, so it was 62 entries, like right there, just above 60. We started racing at 9:30, and we were able to do track maintenance in the middle of each round, and then at the end of each round, ran 3 quals, 5 minutes, a 15-minute nitro truck main, a 20-minute nitro buggy main, 5-minute lower mains, 5-minute sportsman main. And I was on the road by like 10 till 6 or something. Before 6.
I'm going to even backdate you a little bit to say how smooth this went. We ran 3 quals. All the track maintenances were what I'm used to, very slow. And not a shot at them. They're learning it, but they were taking their time, and which is good. I'd rather them take their time as you're kind of learning the track and stuff like that. There's little odds and ends I could pick there to give them a few pointers, but track maintenance was slow, and no one was in a rush. A couple times we had to call for marshals, stuff like that, look for some volunteers, and it wasn't like put your car down, hurry and go.
It wasn't go, but it's still
a random suggestion that I'm just thinking of now as we're talking about this is maybe they should think of like more like a post staging area.
Yeah,
there's
no
cars.
shutdown table.
Yeah, like a shutdown table
Yeah.
and better shutdown lanes and stuff like that. Also, it would save a ton of time if we had a place for the cars to cut through easier to get back after they cross the line and realize like, and you called them done.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure you saw that a ton.
It wasn't that bad, honestly.
No, it wasn't bad, but it's just little things if we needed to pick up a whole bunch of time.
Yeah.
But the shutdown table would be nice.
Speaking on,
because a lot of people go in their pits and stuff like that and coming back.
Speaking on track maintenance, I want to pick on Mike McGee a little bit because this was really funny. Throughout the day, we were trying to get the track to groove up, so we're like trying to get moisture in it and everything, and the track just wouldn't do what I wanted it to do. Not that there wasn't traction, it just wouldn't do what I wanted it to do. So as they went on and the sun went behind us, and got Taylor's opinion, and Taylor was like, "Oh, you guys should just water the fluff if you even put moisture on it."
And so Taylor explained to Mike like how to do that, like, oh, just water the dust, don't touch the groove.
And I'm pointing to like all these areas. I was like, you really need to avoid this.
Yeah.
I was like, did you watch when there was water before? Because you really have to pay attention to how it acts once you lay the water on it and how long it takes to settle in. Stuff
Right.
like that.
Well, the first turn Mike went to with the water hose, I look over and I'm like, hey, Taylor, look, he watered everything but the fluff. I just
he went to the center and just did straight to the center.
And Mike, I half mean to pick on you, and I don't mean to pick on you, but it just gave me like it didn't hurt anything at all. It didn't make the race day any
No, it was
longer. It
alright.
didn't hurt the surface. It was just like really, it just made me laugh really hard.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, we got a good chuckle out of that. It was just funny. And it was only the couple of us that
Yeah.
were like involved in the conversation.
But I was really impressed with the crew Mike and Travis put together because, like, there's the blue crew at LCRC, and now Mike and Travis, at Dudley Hill, they have these orange shirts for, the track crew, and there's like 5 or 6 guys dedicated to the track crew and volunteer marshaling. Like, they helped out so much. That was incredible.
Yeah.
They had 5 blowers going at once when they'd blow off the track. What?
Granted, this is a little constructive criticism. 2 of those electric blowers that they had wasn't doing a lot.
Yeah, but I'm saying it was impressive, the
Something.
personnel they had and everyone that was
Absolutely.
rock stars.
Round of
and
applause
yeah.
to their personnel.
Yeah, for
Great
sure.
job.
They were killing it. So we talked surface, we talked facility, we talked
And
entries.
it's clear that they're very passionate and want that place
Oh, yeah.
to succeed because all of them are putting on a lot of effort. And you can tell.
Yeah.
Like when the effort's there and they want that to succeed, like they were all pretty passionate.
Oh,
about
the
it, and
announcers
it really
booth
showed.
is the nicest announcers booth I've ever been in.
Oh, and the 3 what I was getting at too is we ran the 3 quals. We weren't in a hurry, the track maintenance, all that, and we were done with the 3 rounds of qualifying by 3:00 with
Yeah.
a little bit of a break in between.
10 round or 10 races a round. It was. So
Alex, you would like the Rock Creek booth. It's pretty dialed.
I'm sure I would. But whenever Kevin listens to this on the next layout change, so 2 or 3 months from now, Kevin, I'm a little I understand why you didn't come, but I wish you did because I just wanted to point at everything driver stand and booth related until you give Davey and I that.
Well, I don't want to say anything, but did he talk to you why he didn't come?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
don't say
yeah,
on
yeah,
the-
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Like I said, I understand, but whenever you do come, do that. What else? What else? They had a nitro staging lane, just like LCRC does.
They had numbers.
Not the numbers
like
and a
that.
whole bit. It was an on ramp and an off ramp to get on the stand, so handicap friendly and all that. And then they had I don't know what that other lower level is intended for. I don't know if that is like
Handicap.
is it handicap?
Oh, yeah. There's a handicap.
Okay. I wasn't
With the
sure if
ramp.
that was intended for handicap
Yeah,
or if
handicap people don't go upstairs.
okay.
I'm just joking. I guess.
I wasn't sure if it was like a media booth as well. You know what I mean?
Nope.
Anyway.
Handicap.
What else? What else? What else? How was the electric situation in the pits, Taylor? How was pitting?
So I was prepared for no electricity. I believe that's what we were told. But there was city power there. So, and I could see a couple other pedestals, like, you know how we were kind of staged in that one line.
You were pretty primitive up
By the
top.
road.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we had extension cords and stuff kind of looped together for the majority of us, and nothing ever dropped. It was solid power, but it looked like across the field there that there were potentially a couple other pedestals of power, perhaps.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're wired up or not, but I was just kind of peeking around at those.
Yeah.
So it looks like they're kind of setting up for some decent power around
I
there.
know I didn't speak to Mike or Travis directly. I was speaking to Mark Schaefer, and I don't want to say too much because I don't know. But I know they're working on more power, and there's a couple roadblocks they're trying to get around with having actual power, more of the actual power, but they're working on it. I did this. I did that.
Do we want to lead up to that though? Spoiler alert.
What else is there to lead up to?
How'd qualifying go for you, Alex? Tell me about that.
Truck was great. I don't even want to talk about buggy.
Yeah.
But my buggy was very fast. I had a lot of issues trying, and because it is a tighter track, I had a lot of issues trying to get around slower traffic. But like
Yeah.
I would get around them, then I would make a mistake. So then the slower traffic is in front of me, and at this point they'd be in front of me not only on the track but also on the clock. So they have no reason to pull over and let me by, which is understandable.
Mhm.
But it was at a point to where, like, I looked at, I don't know if it was Q2 or Q3 I looked at, but my whole pace, like I finished like fourth or fifth or whatever in the C sort, and my whole, like my top 3 average, top 5 average, I don't know if I went to top 10 average or not, but all of those were like top of the B sort. But my overall pace puts me down here. You know what I mean? So,
Yep.
I mean, my fault. It's always,
Yeah.
like I'm not blaming anyone, but a little frustrated by that. And then my tire choices, I made some wrong ones. But still fun. Druggy was awesome.
Why was Truggy so much more dialed than Buggy?
No idea. I think it's because I just stuck with reflexes on it all day. Honestly. I did not play a tire game with truck. I just pulled out green reflexes when I got there and never took them off the truck.
Do you think that same result could have translated to E-Buggy if you would have did the same no tire game?
I think I would have definitely done better in e-buggy. How well,
Yeah.
I don't know, but I think I would have at least been in the B sort. So, yeah. There's that.
Was there intermediate buggy or
No,
was
it
it
was
just
just
e-buggy?
open.
Just open.
Okay.
Like it should be.
Yeah. Yeah, we had a D
Yeah,
sort
right.
of e-buggy and then B sorts of everything else. Well, not everything, but I guess it was just truggy.
Yeah.
Was there 40 plus?
No. Nah. Yes.
It was as it should be.
Yeah. As it should be. I'm joking.
Yeah, Rock Creek
Maybe
had
not.
all 3 flavors.
Oh, wow.
Oh, that's sad.
So what, intermediate, expert, and 40 plus?
Yep.
Yeah.
Which accustomed
Well,
to at this point.
but
you know,
and then at
whatever.
110 entries, you can do that. You know,
Yeah,
you
true.
can't do that at 60.
'Cause there was 3 heats in each class or something like
Yeah.
that. Well, 3 or 4 heats. There's 3 heats of expert for sure. 40 plus, I think was 3 or 4. Intermediate was 3 or 4.
Yeah. But oh, Taylor TQ'd Nitro Buggy. What, Q1? That was really cool.
Yeah. So talking about qualifying, my E-Buggy was the same thing Alex did. Like, I was more worried about Nitro Buggy, if anything. Because, Nitro's the glory and all that.
Yeah.
My E-Buggy's just dialed and just didn't need to make any changes to it. Just ride height, a few little odds and ends, stuff like that. In qualifying, made a couple little changes to Nitro Buggy. So this will play a factor in practice. When I first got there, new clutch, all that stuff in my Nitro Buggy, and just found out now I shimmed it a little tight to the flywheel, the bell to the flywheel, because you could see a little bit of wear. So Brent, if you listen to this, that was probably that sound you heard. Yeah, Brent was marshalling as I was running Nitro Buggy. He's like, I kind of hear something once in a while. And then I'm like, sometimes I kind of shim the clutch
no big deal.
a little loose. And I'm like, it sounds solid, but I'll give it a look over. I appreciate you letting me know, stuff like that. But it looks like the the clutch bell was a little tight to the flywheel, and I see a little wear on it. So nothing big though. But yeah, new clutch in that. Motor I used the last race. It's got maybe like gallon and a half or something like that on it, and had to tune it a good bit, quite a bit richer here than LCRC, to get it to want to calm down and then just run right, sound good. So cranked both the high and the low speed needles to get it going, and we'll leave it at that. Qualifying, e-buggy was the same spot as Alex. E-buggy was dialed. I was not quite as dialed. I'd make a mistake, and I'd be running really fast, trying to find my pace and settle back down, and then I'd get stuck behind a whole bunch of lap traffic and all that stuff, and I just couldn't separate myself far enough to get to where I thought I should be in qualifying. So I was down quite a bit, but I did out qualify Alex
You did.
by
I was gonna bring that up to make sure you didn't forget.
You did.
I think by about 4 spots or
Yes.
so.
Yes.
Um,
It was considerable.
Yeah. But I'd say Alex and I were really probably about close same
Yeah,
pace.
I'd agree.
You know.
You did beat me
Yeah.
too.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I don't like how I beat you though.
Well, I think you would have done it
We'll
anyway.
we'll get to that. We'll get to that in just a second. And then Nitro Buggy qualifying. I TQ'd round 1, and I really was still kind of learning it and playing around, and I was considerably faster than everyone else on the track at that time. So I was surprised I TQ'd, but I made a bunch of mistakes. You good, Mike?
Yeah, I just heard a weird noise. I was trying to see where it's coming from.
That's Lauren trying
Sounds
to
like
get in.
it's outside.
Yeah.
No, it's
No, the only
weird. It's just-
person that will be breaking in will be Chris.
I think it's outside. Somebody's doing something outside.
Did you,
I got it.
I wasn't listening.
Alex got
I
it.
didn't know what you said.
That's okay. Chris will listen to this.
Yeah.
And so TQ'd round 1. I was proud of that though. Still, I got a second in round 2, and then I ended up getting a third, just because I think I was trying to overdrive it in a couple spots to pick up my pace. So I dropped a little bit on.
That give you a second or first overall?
That gave me second overall. So I started P2, but yeah. Then, do you want to go with your mains, Alex?
Yeah. So I want to start with practice, because as we talked about, I took the servo saver off my e-buggy to see how that felt. And it was on my third lap of practice, so approximately 7:05 a.m. I broke the servo saver delete, whatever we want to call that part of the steering system. I broke the arm off that connects to the steering rod off the servo horn.
Yeah, I didn't even get on the track yet. I'm walking to the track to check it out, and Alex comes up to me. Note to self: if you ever run a techno, don't delete servo saver. And he showed me his broken car.
Big shout out to Mach 1 servos though, because the servo is fine. But so I slipped the servo saver back on. Whatever. Fast forward to mains. C main e-buggy. I sucked. Car was great. ESC broke. Which the ESC was already super glued back together. Thank you, Lauren. Y'all know the song and dance about that. No need to get into it. Truck. I was 6th. I think I was starting 6th in the A main. And as a tribute to our late friend Barry Sr., I ran his truggy body, because I know if he was still with us, he would definitely be there. So I ran his body in the main. And it was pretty funny because Gavin's body is orange, white, and blue, and Barry's body is blue, white, orange. So we were just, a complete opposite. But then it goes off. I had good luck in the first lap or two. I was able to get up to second. And I was, keeping Gavin honest. I wouldn't say I was battling with him, but he wasn't getting away from me. I was keeping him honest. Till probably about 5 minutes in, And then Brandon Hester was right with me too. Like, he was keeping me honest. But then about 5 minutes in, I made a mistake and rolled and had to get marshaled. And it was just enough. As I was getting flipped back on my wheels, here comes Brandon. And I didn't want to gun it and wreck both of us, so I just gave him the lane because that was the smart thing to do. And he pretty much checked out from there. And then I just tried to just maintain. And as I said earlier, I was on greens. I could feel they were getting bad, like they were getting too warm. And it was even funny because I was standing next to Steve Janoski on the stand, and I like just lapped him. Then I made a mistake. And then Steve was there, and then Steve let me around again, and then I made another mistake. He's like, Alex, come on, what are you doing? Aren't you in third? I'm like, Steve, I'm not trying to mess you up. Like, you don't have to let me around. Like, I'm trying everything I can to hold on to the car right now. But
That's funny.
yeah, I just drove very conservatively and was able to hold on to that third place spot. So I was very happy with that. I was very happy to do it with Barry's body on. Meant a little extra to me. It's my first E-Truck E podium. So yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Very good time. Yeah.
Big E-Trucky guy. First season.
Big E-Truck guy. I'm really liking E-Truck. Really liking E-Truck.
It is fun.
It is so much fun. And it was funny when we first got there. Like, McGee had a fast lap of a 28 something, like before anyone, you know. And so I ran like a 29 flat or a high 28 with my E-Truck. Excuse me. And I was like, "Hey, McGee, what's the fast lap?" He's like, "Oh, I was able to get 28s, but that was pretty much it." And then Gavin was practicing, and Shane was on the headset with him. And reverting back to the last time Gavin and I ran e-buggy at WO, I told Shane, I said, "Hey, Shane, make sure Gavin knows to make sure he has corner speed this time." Because at WO, he had no corner speed, and I was able to be on his ass the whole time. But that little fucker had corner speed this time.
Still
Dude,
missing a little
Shane-
bit.
Shane and I were. He was talking a lot about corner speed at LCRC.
Yeah.
We had a handful of conversations making Gavin's cars faster.
Yeah, he was not lacking corner speed compared to before.
He's well aware of it now, and he's tuning for it.
Mm-hmm.
So we're all fucked.
Yeah. Gavin was on a wicked one in his truck, man. Like I said, those first 5 minutes, I was keeping him honest. I mean, there was maybe a 3-second gap. You know, we weren't nut to butt, but I was there. And then I made that mistake. And Brandon Hester, I don't know if he runs JC or what, but he said he was on a super soft too. And
Yeah, he's running Ethan's tires.
yeah, so he was telling me after that he felt the same exact thing as me. Like we ran too soft, and so I think it was like a 10-second gap between Brandon and I or something. But it stayed like that the whole race, you know. So, but Gavin,
What was your fast lap and truck?
I don't know. I think Shane said I was either high 27s or low 28s.
Because I think Yoder ran a 26.2.
Jeez.
And then also majority of the time in truck he was like backed off and just cruising.
Yeah.
He
rub it in.
was comfortable.
Rub it in.
Because we Shane and I were kind of laughing where Brandon was like really pushing to try and get to
Yeah, Brandon
Gavin,
wanted him
and we're like,
bad.
he doesn't realize that Gavin's not even
Yeah.
remotely close, because you could tell he's just looks like he's on a Sunday. He's fast, but
Oh yeah.
you could tell he's on a Sunday cruise because I work with him enough now that I
Yeah, we can see when he's pushing and not.
Yeah, yeah, he was just
Yeah,
cruising.
Brandon really had it out in a friendly way. Brandon had it
Yeah.
out for like he really wanted to beat Gavin,
And congrats to him. I'm not talking anything bad.
which I think he did get him in
Brandon
buggy.
did very good racing.
I think he got him in e-buggy. Brandon did.
No, because we had 2 1s and a second.
Oh, never mind then.
First in truck, first in 10 scale, second e-buggy.
never mind then.
That was the goal.
Never mind.
Yeah.
It was close then. 'Cause I remember announcing the e-buggy.
Yeah, there was a lot of mistakes in the e-buggy
Yeah.
where he went back. He made some mistake, clipped the pipe,
He
or
came back.
I think he traction rolled it in one corner, but then just went back around everybody.
Speaking of announcing, though, big shout out to Lauren Grupa for backing me up and announcing the races I was in.
Yeah, Lauren did great.
Lauren
It was really
always
good to
does
hear him
great,
on the
yeah.
mic.
And he had a blast. And before the Truggy main, the race before it, he came up. He's like, "I'm announcing this one. You need to go look over your car, breathe, relax, do good." And like, it was the most simple instruction. Sir, yes, sir. And then, also speaking on announcing, we had some safety briefings. In fact, Mike McGee was generous enough to bring a whole cooler's worth of safety meetings up to the booth. And I told Mike, I said, "Mike, if you're bringing this, you need a funnel with a piece of vacuum line or something so I have a place to pee too." But
It's funny.
yeah, it was a very good time. I can't wait for the next one.
So I'm looking at the A main for E-Truck.
Uh-huh.
I remember looking at this on our drive home, Alex, and now I remember making the comment of like Gavin's fast lap was a 27.1, and yours was a 27.8. So like
That's
you were close to matching Gavin's hot lap. Like
that's
you were on
pretty
one.
significant to me.
Yeah,
In qualifying,
yeah,
he ran 26 something.
Yeah, you were on one this past Saturday.
Oh, in truck.
You were
Shit-
you were
shit-
cooking. Yeah.
Shit clicked in
Yeah.
truck.
As Shane said, I ate my Wheaties that morning.
Maybe you had a. Maybe you had a safety meeting at the right time.
No, I felt at home because I'm used to the tighter tracks, you know? Techno truck, even though it may be the John Deere of E-trucks, which I consider that a compliment because John Deere is the best ag equipment you can get. So, you know, Techno truck's just awesome. And
It just works.
yeah, I turned it down like 5% or something on the radio, so I was at 90. That's all. That's the only change I made. Away we went. But that's all I got for Dudley. Can't wait for the next one, and I can't wait to make it out to Rock Creek. Taylor?
So I guess we talked about Maine, right, for e-buggy?
Yeah, we said we
Um,
didn't want to talk about it.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't the greatest. You and I got to go back and forth a little bit. It
Yeah.
was leading up. I think here's how I felt at that point in time. First and second already got away.
Yeah. We were
I
like
mean,
fifth and sixth
They
or something.
they weren't like that much. They were slower, but they were away fast enough and far enough, and I was
Yeah.
already kind of disgruntled with myself
Yeah.
after making a couple mistakes, where I was like, nah. I was like, I was just kind of for fun now.
Yeah.
But you and I got paired together, and we went back and forth for a few turns, and I'm like, oh, this is gonna turn this race around for me, and
And then
I was excited about that.
and then my car shut
And
off.
you and I both had some exchanges
Yeah.
on the right side. That was really fun right there. Because you left the door open, then I
Yep.
left the door open,
Yep.
and I think you left it open.
Yep.
And it was like
then
back
like
and
I
forth
got
with
into
these
you
turns.
and I gave it back, and you got
Yep.
into me and you gave it back,
Yep.
and we had a lot of fun.
And then, is that right after the thing happened for you?
Well, that would have happened before the thing happened, because if the thing didn't happen, we would have kept leaving the doors open.
Oh, I mean the ESC thing where then you exited the track.
Oh, well, the car didn't exit the track. The car scrubbed
Oh.
the triple perfectly, and then I lost power.
Because I can't even remember too much after that. Did you finish
No.
the main?
No, I made
Oh.
it like 2 or 3 minutes.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I'm saying is I thought you and I had that going for a little bit, and then the ESC.
Yeah, we had a couple of laps. I had enough
Yeah.
time to step back on the stand, chill out, walk off the track, pick up my car, contemplate throwing it, realizing it's not that big of a deal, and I know the problem is not the car, it's
Yeah.
the one thing. Laughed about it.
walked back up, and then the tone went off.
Okay. But Nitro Buggy. So started P2 and in a group of, I think there was 10 of us.
There was a lot of you.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it was
And,
9. It was because one person
Oh,
left
9.
early or
Okay.
something.
So started P2 on after the front stretch. I started trying to make a move to first to see if he'd leave the door open. I tried to keep putting my nose towards him just a little bit, and then he didn't leave it open. Then I tried to make it onto the second switchback on the right side. He didn't leave it open. And then I was right there with him the whole time. But then after the triple double and then heading back up hill, he made a mistake. And I passed him for first place. And then before I could even cross the line, though, after one of the turns, something happened to my car. And then it just locked up on the one side. And I'm like, what? Did I break an outdrive? Did I break an axle? Like, I couldn't figure it out. So Kurt, Shane's dad, was marshaling there in that turn. He picked up the car. He's kind of looking at it, and he kind of throws his hands up in the air. And Ethan was pitting for me. And I told Ethan, it'll be an easy pit. Just got to put fuel in it a couple times. Here, Ethan goes running for me, chases after the car, and looks at it, shakes it real violently, and a rock falls out.
Yeah, I remember
I guess
Lauren
there was
yelling that.
Yeah. And then I was like kind of down on myself. I'm like, oh, my car broke. I was like, I feel so confident. I have like the best stuff all the time when I go to the track, in my opinion. So like when something like that happens, it's like frustrating to me. So rock fell out. I was like, oh, well, it's car didn't break. I was like, that's cool. Ethan like throws it down, and then I'm far back in last place at that point in time. And after maybe 4-ish minutes or so, I had crossed the line for third, and we do almost close to a whole lap, and I made the move on second. And before I crossed the line that time, ran out of fuel. So I guess it would have been more than 4 minutes. Would have been another 5 something. And that's where my story of tuning my car in the beginning at practice, I had to richen it up a whole bunch. And
Did
I'm
not
used
have
to
that
being able to go
mileage.
10s.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm used to being able to do a 10 at LCRC. But I didn't have the time to time it or anything in the beginning of the day, so I didn't know. The plan was just to do like somewhere around 7, and then there would have just been 2 stops and call it good. Ran out of fuel, and then Ethan picked it up, and I was down a lap, but then I made it back up to, gosh, I don't know without looking, but it was like 6 or something like that. But then I ran out of fuel again. So yeah, at that point in time, I was like, I'm done. This is
So
like, it was fun. No, I had a great time still.
I want to shout out Dylan McCumber in the Nitro main because I ended up pitting for him, and he just, after your rock fell out, after all that, he just went out and brought him in at like 6:30 or whatever. Good fuel stop. Brought him in again. So now it's like 3 minutes to go or 4 minutes to go or something.
So you pitted somebody
Yeah.
while I was racing?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know this.
Yes.
And so you're a big Nitro pit guy now too.
Big
Already
Nitro
did,
pit guy.
Already did Dennis Brew, the
Yeah.
Mr. Nitro Caddy himself,
Yeah.
and now second.
Big Nitro pit
Alright.
guy. But so Dylan was like just over a lap ahead on second, and there was like 4 minutes to go, and like I'm like half paying attention, you know. I got a safety meeting in my hand. I'm having fun, and I yell up. I'm like, "Hey, Dylan, you have time for a splash and go if you want it, you know, just to be safe."
and he said, "My rear end's dragging the ground." And what? And I look over, and there's this car. Sure as shit, the rear end's just against the ground. And I was like, "Fuck! What do you want to do about it?" Because we don't have headsets. And he's like, "I'm just gonna keep trying to drive it." And he made like another lap, and I was like, I don't know if it's a bent shock shaft or what, but if you want, I can try to pop it. And so like I got out of pit lane, and like he made a mistake, so I ran over to Marshall, and I just like went to examine it real quick, and the screw backed out of the A arm for his one shock. And I think I fucked him right here, because then I looked at it and I was like, eh. And I was just like, I held the car up, went like this to show him the shock wasn't attached, and then I set it back down on the track to let him decide his fate. And he went about the straightaway. And this is where I fucked him, because while he was going around, the shock was still sitting in the slot of the A-arm. Now, granted, it was sliding around there, but it was sitting there and still doing some suspension thing. Then my dumbass pulled it out to show him the issue and didn't put it back in.
Yeah.
So now it's fully dragging the ground, fully undrivable, and he pulled his car. But he was still
Big
able
Nitro
to...
Pit guy
Yeah.
with a strong pull-out game.
Yeah, right? So, sorry, Dylan. My bad, but he still got the podium out of that. But I was super stoked, like, when he was leading. I'm like, I'm going to pit someone that actually wins? Like, this is great. But, yeah. That was all. Now that's all I have for Dudley Hill.
Yeah. I just want to speak on how great of a facility Dudley is.
Yeah.
Really. I truly think it's going to be something pretty big.
Yeah, I can't wait to go back. And
Yep.
I can't wait to go try
just
Rock Creek
today
as well.
posted their next event. Was it June
7th.
Gosh. 7th.
Yeah.
Okay.
Practice on the 26th, racing the 27th. So,
I can't do that race.
neither can I.
I'll be in New York for a wedding.
I'll be at a petting zoo.
Is that your way of saying you're getting goats?
A girlfriend?
No. My mom decided we're having a big family trip of me and my brothers and their wives and kids. And the magic word she used, because her birthday's in June, the magic word she used is, "I want to do this for my birthday."
Yep.
Shit. So I get to go.
You have to go.
Which, I mean, I'm gonna have fun. You know, I love my niece and nephew, and my niece is that perfect 3-year-old age, almost 3, where, you know, you can push her on the ground and she laughs about it. And I'm like a big bully, so yeah, it'll be fun. Anywho's,
My mom's birthday's tomorrow.
oh, happy birthday!
And
Miss
speaking
Alyssa.
of birthdays, the newest version of Cody might be having a birthday about the time this podcast drops.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Wow.
I hope
That's all I got.
I hope to meet little Cody when the next LCRC is.
I'm sure we will.
Yeah, I think that might be a high probability.
Till then, though, shall we close out?
Yeah. So, what are you guys doing next for racing, though, real quick? Because I'll mention that.
Do what?
Racing next. Like, what are your next events?
Probably not till LCRC for me.
So I am in the middle, as you can tell, prepping my cars, because just in a few days, I leave for club racing Thursday night at CRC in Rome for the club racing night. Then Friday, I'll return back for Rumble in Rome. Friday, Saturday. Then the weekend after that, I don't think I have anything. Then the following weekend will be the Party Rock race. Roughly, 17-ish days away?
Yep. A little over
Okay.
2 weeks.
Yeah. Not this
Yep,
weekend,
so
not next
17
weekend,
days.
the one after.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, I think that's gonna be my next gig. Mike, what
Okay.
about you? You got plans?
I have nothing planned. I know there's some stuff posted
Yeah,
for like WO, but
yeah,
I don't know if I'm going to go. I might just go golfing.
yeah. There's definitely some racing going on, and I really want to sneak down to Adrenaline still. I gotta just pick a date and commit to it.
I think Trains and Lanes is having a race this coming weekend as well.
Yeah, they are. Trains and Lanes, CRC, WO's racing this weekend. I don't know about 412. I don't know at Rock Creek. I know Browns always races every weekend. Yeah, I'm not sure dates on other races, but I got to rebuild my cars and catch a shipment from LCRC to fix my e-buggy.
Good thing LCRC has some of the fastest shipping in the biz.
They do.
LCRCRaceway.com. Shout out to Bob, who's currently on vacation though, but usually Bob handles a lot of the
Yeah.
shipping.
In theory, the EOC will probably be here the time this podcast drops, or the day
Yeah.
after, which is also conveniently the same time my other Go Fast parts for the El Camino comes in. I'm going to be very torn on which one to work on first, and I think it's going to be the El Camino.
Yeah. I got to pick up my big race car and still bring it to my house.
Yeah.
That's going to happen here pretty soon too. Maybe next weekend.
Nice.
You know what you should do is just get your RC stuff ready now. This way you can just.
Well,
keep
I'm
working on
racing
the
this
El
weekend.
Camino. Not you, him.
Oh.
I'm waiting on parts to
Sorry.
come in.
I know, that's what I'm saying. Like, get your e-buggy done. Just get it done. Get it
Yeah.
out of the way. This
Well,
way you can work on
Unsolder
the
all
El
that
Camino.
stuff,
Here's-
clean it,
But I
refresh it.
don't. So tomorrow I have to brush hog and mow,
That's what I was doing today
Yeah.
before this podcast.
Yeah. and then Wednesday I plan on doing El Camino things and stuff. It kind of depends on how much which everything should come. I'm ready to put the. So then Thursday I'll probably do RC car stuff, unless no Thursday I'll probably do RC car stuff, and then Friday probably drop the engine in the Elco. Yeah, I mean I have plenty of time.
The reason why I say that is that this way you're not rushing to get your RC stuff ready for LCRC. You just have it done because the El Camino doesn't need to be done before LCRC. You know what I mean?
Do you know how much fun an El Camino is, Mike?
Yes.
You know how badly I want
I
to
just
rip
think it's a
shitties
better-
in it?
I know.
I will take my cars
Um,
with the same shock oils that have been in since the season opener if it means my El Camino is running before the
I know.
season opener.
And what was our conversations last year? To take care of your shit, maintenance it, and have it good.
Oh, I have
This way
time.
you don't have issues.
I have time. The El Camino should
You say
be
that.
done by Sunday.
You say
And then I
that.
still have a week and a half to get the cars ready, which will take me 2 evenings. While the weather's nice, I want to do nice weather shit. When it's raining, I'll come wrench.
Yeah, it's after this week. It's gonna be raining, so
Exactly. This week I'm going to mow the grass and brush off the field and do El Camino things. And then next week I will do toy car things.
by Sunday it's gonna be raining.
Sunday I'll be doing burnouts and donuts.
I gotta pee. Can we wrap this up?
Let's wrap it up.
Sorry.
Yes.
Shout out ACS, Nitro Caddy, LCRC, 46RC, Techno, Mugen, JC, the followers,
MT Designs.
the followers, the listeners, the subscribers, commenters,
You're doing all mine.
sharers,
Okay.
likers,
Crispy paints.
crispy paints.
ACS hobbies.
Already said it.
Nitro
Said
Caddy.
that.
Already said it.
Okay.
Shout out Dudley Hill. Shout out Rock Creek. Thanks for having us. Can't wait to have the rest of us. Keep it on its wheels. Keep it between the pipes. Don't forget slow is fast. Anything else?
Nope. That's it.
Nope.
Catch you guys on the next one. We're gonna
Bye.
end off with our ACS commercial. Shout out Tony and Colleen. Good night, everyone.
Good night.
So, how do you hobby? At ACS Hobbies, we've got everything to fuel your passion and spark your creativity. Whether you're into RC cars, model trains, boats, or planes, We have a huge selection of kits, parts, and accessories. Need paints or tools? We've got you covered. Test your skills on our RC crawler course or race on our oval track. There's always something fun to do. Plus, discover an awesome range of games for all ages. ACS Hobbies is your ultimate destination for hobby enthusiasts. Visit us today and start building your next adventure.